Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Sisko and I am a medium and spiritual coach. Once you acknowledge those aspects of yourself that you feel are less desirable or darker, some people might refer to them as the shadow self or inner demons. Once you acknowledge them, bring your attention to them and start to heal that part of yourself, then you can step into your power as a light worker more easily, and your spiritual journey will seem less challenging. Not that it will never be challenging, but it will seem less challenging and more exciting. These parts of our minds, these inner demons, can really convince you that they are truth, and they can lie to you in such a way that you start to listen to them as truth, and you start to feel disconnected from spirit. You can start feeling disconnected from yourself because you believed in these half-truths. No, I wouldn't even call them half-truths. They are partial truths, but they're mostly just lies that your mind will tell you to keep you quote-unquote safe. And what I mean by that is sometimes you might have fears and insecurities that you really, really believe in are real, and you might start listening to those voices in your mind, not literal voices, but you know what I mean. You start listening to that, and it becomes so seductive and easier to listen to that voice, and you start believing in that voice as truth, that, oh, maybe I shouldn't take this path because a lot of people aren't doing it, and it's unconventional, therefore it's not safe. I talked myself out of doing this work for years because I gave into that and believed it as truth. And it made me feel disconnected from spirit, from my intuition. And it even started to disconnect me from trusting myself. And ultimately, these beliefs, these lies that our minds are telling us, are disempowering. They're very restrictive, and they're limiting. I've definitely done a lot of these things before where I've believed in something so strongly that I'd convince myself that it was truth, that maybe I shouldn't take a more unconventional path, that it's not safe to put myself out there. And that really, really affected and is still affecting my life in a lot of ways. because I don't think that we're ever completely healed. I think that we can identify aspects of ourselves that we need to work on, and we continuously shift them and get back to a place of power within ourselves, and we can get back to reconnecting with ourselves and with spirit. And there are some practices to help us to do that. And I find when I'm feeling really low, just sitting in stillness for a few minutes, breathing in the light, doing some energy work, or just connecting with spirit, doing some prayer, some affirmations, whatever that is going to shift you out of the inner noise, the inner criticism, the inner judgments, and whatever will shift you out of that and back to your connection with the divine and ultimately with yourself is going to help you. I love to help you to shift out of these restrictive patterns and get back to living a life of purpose. And I have sessions that are designed to help you do that as a spiritual coach. And I also have a spiritual guidance session available on my website at spiritualreadingsnj.com. I will put the link to that in my description. I'm sending you so much love and many blessings.